Great.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. So, Mr. Robot.
Lovecraft Country. Oh, not that I worked on, but.
Oh yeah, no, I was thinking about the ones that you've mentioned you've worked on. Right.
Oh yeah. I worked on Broad City season 5.
Yeah, and that one we've talked about before because I'm a huge Broad City fan.
Yeah, that was crazy. I did not expect to get on that show. It was like so low bar when that was like when I first started getting like almost full-time work. I was still working at a restaurant, so I was like just kind of gigging around and like just getting my feet wet to like being on set because I had a job in a prop office, so I was like not really on set but like still in the business, but I'm not networking.
Yeah.
You know, like for people who are like actually on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like one of the guys I met that was like a PA, he was the only contact I had. So I was just like, hey, you got anything for me? Like, hey, just saying hi again. I would do it like, I don't know, once or twice a month.
Yeah.
Then he was like, finally, he was like, oh yeah, I got some days for you. Like, and like they usually will only book you for like 1 or 2 days to kind of see how you are.
Yeah.
And then they'll book you for more days if you're like good and they like you. And so I was like so pumped that he like said he had some work for me. And then I was like, can I ask what show it is? And he was like, it's Broad City. And I was like,
what?
What the fuck? I was like, yes, I will work on this. He's like, it's long hours, it's tough days, blah, 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 blah. We're always in like public places in New York City. Like, you down for it? And I was like, yeah, I'm down.
Honestly.
I'm down for fucking Broad City.
Yeah.
There is that video on my Instagram of Alana touching me and asking me about my tattoo.
Plug your Instagram.
Oh, it's at Tender Rooni with 3 R's.
Boom. At Tender Rooni.
Tender Rooni. TNDERRROONI. It's a fun one.
Boom.
It's a fun one. But yeah, some friend of a friend like Instagram videoed on set. And then that friend of mine was like, hey, are you working on Broad City today? Like, my friend just passed the set and I think I saw you in the background of one of her Instagram stories. I was like, let me see her Instagram. Thinking that I was just like walking around in the back somewhere. Yeah. But it's like of the exact moment that Alana like cozied up next to me and was like asking about my tattoo. And I was like,
melting.
Yeah, I was like, proof.
Dude.
And then I was working on another show. This was like recently, so it's been like a year or two between. And I don't think that I'd like to think that she recognized me, but I think she's just also like a nice person. So we were filming somewhere in Lower Manhattan. It was like some music studio. And I was like holding the door open for crew members. And I just see her like walking down the street. She's holding like 2 books and a plant on top of the book. And so when she passed me, I was like, Alana, hey. And she was like, hey.
Of course. Of course. Of course. God, why is she so fucking fantastic?
Yeah, she was great. And I think that was the season where like Abby started to direct some stuff. And then I think I got her book at the same time, and I was like to my sister, I was like, do I bring the book to work and have her sign it? And Jody's like, of course you do. And I was like, I don't think I can.
You're like, oh gosh, but oh gosh.
Yeah, it's like hard when you're just like day playing on a show because you're not really like part of the core crew that they see every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I ended up working on that for like 3 weeks or so, but like I was on pose for the full like 4 or 5 months that we shot. So, by like month 2, I'm like cozy with all the cast and we're just like all just being goofy together. And that show is shot a lot in the studio, so it's like a lot easier because you're not like in public.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with them. Yeah.
Shooting in New York City is like super tough, and like now with COVID, it's just like a totally different world.
Dude, well, I remember being at NYU whenever they were shooting anything in the fucking city. I remember when I was at school, they were shooting The Sorcerer's Apprentice with Nicolas Cage, dude. They were shooting. They did Remember Me with fucking Robert Pattinson, and you know that was fucking while Twilight was still a fucking thing. And dude, everyone was hoarding around.
Yeah.
Washington Square Park because Robert Pattinson. Oh
yeah.
my god.
They did that for Rami Malek. I forgot that. There was a day where he didn't even come on set until the last scene, and we ended up like shutting down early because it started snowing really bad. And there were these girls that like came from Canada because they know that it films in New York City, and they somehow like hunted down where we were on set that day, and they were just waiting like just to see him. And like he ended up coming on set for like 2 seconds. We gamble on Fridays. I don't know if I'm whatever. We gamble on set on Fridays. We have some fun. And they were having him like pull the raffle. And so that was the only reason that he came to set, and then he just bounced. And these people had waited all day. They basically worked with us. It was like a 12-hour day, even though we canceled like the last scene. I was like, damn, y'all like flew in from Canada to just to
get a glimpse
him. And it was snowing and it was cold, and they had like and they were just like, they can't like be on set, but we're like, all right, like fine, you can just like, you got to just stay back, like.
Yeah. Wow, dude.
Yeah, I was like,
the dedication of some people, bro.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that. I don't think I would. I say that, but
I mean, not fly. I mean, the most I've done, and this is, so when I was in NYU, my friend Mike Girali, and I feel like he's probably working on something important right now, and I should know what it is, but I know you're doing cool shit, Mike. Anyway, he's obsessed, or was obsessed with Tina Fey. I'm sure he still is. And that was when Date Night was being filmed, and
Gotcha.
Date Night with Steve Carell, and I love Steve Carell.
Right.
And he found out that they were recording at such and such location in the city, but it was like at 1 or 2 in the morning. So we decide to like drink a little bit, and then we're gonna go down to where they're shooting, and because he just wants to see Tina Fey. And I'm like, great, maybe I'll get to see Steve Carell. So we drink, and it's fucking raining, and also we're on like 26th Street, and we need to get downtown. We go on this drunken mission downtown. We get there. We did not get to see Tina Fey, but Steve Carell kind of showed up. He like walked by, and he had like this little cup of frozen yogurt. And we were like, we are so sorry to bother you. Would it be cool if we get a picture with you? And he was like, yeah, sure. And we got a picture with him, and he's just like with his umbrella, because it's right with his umbrella and his fucking little frozen yogurt. And we're like,
I'm pretty sure that's either on your parents' fridge or Abuela's fridge.
Abuela's fridge. It's on Abuela's fridge. It is on our grandma's fridge, y'all.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
So funny. That's great. Okay, well, off that, so right now I'm quarantined because my roommate got a positive, right? And so I don't think I have it. I just got a test. Like, I haven't gotten the results back, but I had to tell work, and I was about to start this new job on Monday for Succession season 3. No big deal. No big deal at all. But they were like, yeah, you gotta like stay home and, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so and this is like, it's a great problem to have, but like, I just keep getting like job offers, like job after job offer. Like, I can't turn them down quick enough. Yeah. So like, while I'm here quarantined, I get a text from one of my buddies and was like, hey, are you available for this Tina Fey show? Oh. And I'm like, what? Like, why are you telling me this now? Like, I just got a job. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Dude.
And she was like, oh, I didn't mean to be misleading. She's the showrunner. Like, she's not in it. And I was like, still, like, and then I was like, wait, because I just worked on a first season where like the showrunner was always on set. And I was like, she on set like all the time though? And my friend was like, yeah. And I was like, my cat is named after her, kind of. I didn't even realize I was doing it, but I did it. Her name's Tuna, like Tuna Faye.
Yes. Wow, dude.
But yeah, that's like a goal, is to like just meet her, hang out, like, yeah. Bill Murray's another goal. Like, it'll happen.
Yeah.
Putting it out there.
I have some people, like I have these Post-its on my bathroom mirror, and it's just like names of people, like things I want to accomplish so I can look at it all the time. There's names of people I want to work with.
Yeah.
And one of the people that I want to work with is Sofia Coppola, dude.
Yeah.
I want to meet that woman.
What was I just watched On the Rocks.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, dude. I haven't seen it, but one of my friends watched it and told me that it was dope. Do you agree? Yeah?
Yeah, I liked it. I feel like the end, it just ended. But like, that's fine. You gotta end a story somehow.
Sure. I mean, but I mean, that's true, but like you'd expect more from Sofia Coppola.
I'm trying to remember. Amy is in the other room and I'm like, Amy, how did the movie end? On the Rocks.
I love the Ghostbusters patch on your shirt.
Yo.
Oh, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. What's up?
Yeah, we were just talking about it. I was like, it just ended. I remember us being like, oh, like it just ended.
Cool.
I think I just remembered.
Whisper it to me. No, wait, I'm mute. I'm putting on mute.
Oh, cool. So great. Just love watching their face. As they take it all in. Hi, Rooney, you crack me up.
We got to a point, but yeah,
Could you hear me?
Yes, I could hear. I'm like trying to listen to her and like.
I'm like, hi, Rooney.
Yeah, that tends to happen to me too. Like, I'll watch shows and then I just forget how they end.
Huh.
Like, I'll remember everything else but the ending, and it's like I have amnesia.
Huh. Do you find that happens with all shows, or do you have like favorite shows and you remember those, and maybe just some shows you don't remember?
Everyone. Like, Lovecraft. Oh, I remember how Lovecraft ended. Yep, that was. You gotta watch that show, dude.
I'm gonna wait. What streaming service is it on?
HBO Max. Can we talk about HBO Max for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
What happened to like HBO Now, HBO Go, regular HBO? Everything now is like just HBO Max. Have you encountered this at all?
No, because I mean I haven't really been involved with HBO, dude. I've been like just Hulu and Netflix and like Prime, but like basic Hulu. So
Yeah, I have like every streaming service because like I just like mooch off my dad's cable login.
There you go.
That's what we do. But you know, like this is the fucked up thing, is that I signed up for Disney Plus, right? My mom takes from it. My brother takes from it. I think my brother's friend takes from it because there's a fourth profile there that says Elena, and I don't know who the fuck Elena is. And I'm like, can't one of you pick this up? Like, you make a lot more money than I do.
Seriously, like what the hell?
But I can't complain because most of my streaming services I get for free. My dad was like, if you set up Netflix for me, I'll do the 4-person and you can get it. I think he's been on it once.
Wow, perfect.
So I just use it all the time.
Oh,
but yeah, so I think HBO, just because like people aren't using cable anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think between like HBO Go and HBO Now, they were like, this is confusing. We need to put it all together. Mm. So now like everything is on HBO Max. But the problem with that is, so I have an Apple TV in my living room and one in my bedroom. But the one I have in my bedroom is like the older, like the Generation 3, and I can't download HBO Max.
Oh.
And they do some shit. They're like, you cannot get this unless it's on the app. Because I've tried to like mirror image from my laptop to my Apple TV, it just is blank. Like you can hear the audio and see the subtitles, but like, cause I watch with subtitles and, yeah, like you must watch on laptop or on app.
Huh. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, because when I like Lovecraft is like a very, very visual show also.
So you'd want it on your fucking TV and not your
Have
fucking
you seen
laptop?
this?
Oh, dude, yeah. Like, yeah, fuck watching that shit on your laptop if you have that available.
Yeah, that's like it's pride and joy right there, that TV. It's fucking huge.
Dude. No, I feel you then. Totally.
Yeah. But like, you know, I was just watching Succession because I had to for work. Because my sister Jody, she's been trying to plug that show on me for a while. And I have trouble with the like billionaire shows because I'm like, I can't relate to this.
Yeah.
At all. Like it's, I don't know. But like I watched 3 episodes usually, so my show threshold is 3 episodes. I'll watch 3 episodes, and if I'm still interested after 3 episodes, I'll go for it. But if by then I'm not into it, then I just won't.
Yeah,
and I got to the
That's pretty generous. I think 3 episodes, that's fair.
Well, because you know, the first one you're meeting everybody. The second one kind of gets into a little bit of plot, but like the third one is where they should really start taking you on that journey of like what the show is about. So you can't just go on 1 episode. It's not enough. Like,
dude, but so many people do. Anyway, you continue. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I watched like 3 episodes over quarantine, and then I was like, yeah, and I kind of like forgot about it. But then when I even like when I was leading up to like my interview before I got the job, I was like, you know what? Like before my interview, I was like, let me settle in on some of this and like get pumped for this interview. So I watched like 2 more episodes and then I got the job. So I was like, fuck, I got to finish all of this.
Yeah.
And it's actually really fucking good.
Okay.
The writing is great.
Okay.
And like the characters are really good.
Okay.
And so I just finished season 2. And like Jody has this like amazing brain for like remembering what happens in shows that she really likes, like opposite to my show Amnesia. So like I think that season must have come out a few months ago, maybe, or a year, I don't know. But she still remembers, like, because I was leading to the end of season 2 and it gets pretty juicy by then. And it ends on like this really crazy cliffhanger note. And I said to her, I was like, aren't you so jealous that I have 2 of the scripts of season 3 now? I get to read episode 1 and 2, like, and we'll read all that. Like, I'll know what happened. And she spoiled the first season for me, the ending of the first season.
Oh, good.
So I'm like,
that's right. What's up now? Oh, Jody.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You don't want to get on my bad side. I'll ruin shows for you. I used to sit with my roommate and we'd be like watching a TV show or something and I don't even know what would happen. She would maybe like annoy me or something. Mind you, this is like my best friend, so I'm not like truly annoyed. But I'll start like breaking the illusion of like what's actually happening on the camera and like how I'm just like, there are about 30 people behind the camera watching them right now. And this actually isn't all shot together. Like there's one camera this way and then there's another camera this way and blah, blah, blah. And that's smoke from a smoke machine. And like they're blah, blah, blah. I tend to piss people off when I get into that mode. It's really funny though.
It's ruining the magic.
Totally. But what I know then when it's like a really good show is when I forget about the mechanics behind it. Because that can like ruin shows for me when I start thinking, like when I get into work mode and I'm like analyzing things, which also gives me like a different sort of appreciation for it. But shows that I can really like not think about it at all is when I'm like, damn, this is a good show.
So that's funny because I have the similar experience. Obviously I don't do the work that you do, but so what I do is I analyze things, right? I do my work as a PhD student, a professor, and as a reader and a writer and my researcher. And when I watch films and TV shows, I'm breaking shit down through everything that I learned in school. And similarly, when I get a show that doesn't prompt me to do that I'm just like literally little kid Lizzie sitting in front of the TV with like a cereal fucking bowl, like, when I get one of those TV shows, I'm like, this shit is good. This shit
Yeah.
turned off all my other shit, and I'm just fucking here paying attention to this fucking story, dude. So,
Yeah. And I think like also something that like complements that really well is when you can kind of like open your peripherals a little bit more. And like for me, I always take in like the set decoration and like
yeah,
because everything is there for a reason. Like,
absolutely.
and there's so many like little, I don't know, like I just notice shit like that. And I always like it. That's why like, man, part of quarantine and like this whole COVID shutdown is that like movies are being released like, and I can watch them.
Yeah.
And like, it's such a it's for me, it's a much better experience because I'm like super comfortable in my own apartment. I don't have to leave. And like, I can pause. Oh, I can pause movies and like go back.
I can get snacks. I can rewind. I can reevaluate. Dude.
Yeah. We did that like when we watched Mulan here, because that was like the first kind of like big premiere that we had watched in here. Like I was like, this is dope that we can actually just like pause this and like go back and like go back to that moment that was maybe like, oh, there was something else packed in there that I want to see, or you know, it's been also that movie was dope.
It was, and I watched it. We watched it here too. Like we set it up. It was a whole thing. We had dinner, and we were fucking ready, dude. And I was watching it, and I was watching it with my boyfriend and his daughter. And boyfriend not as familiar with the cartoon version. Me and daughter very familiar. So we're like super fucking ready, and we're watching it and kind of comparing because we knew it wasn't going to be the same as the cartoon. And I, for one, was fucking happy about it. So many people were talking shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so upset that there's not going to be much. I'm like, no.
It's an adult movie. Like, it's not the cartoon.
It's not the fucking cartoon. Like, what do you fucking... Anyway, thank God they made the right decisions. And I'm watching it and I'm like, yes, good decisions. Good decisions. Good decisions. Good decisions.
Yeah, no, and I thought like even the little like, oh man, when they dropped the what's this song? They would like drop lines from songs like as a like a verb. What was it from man, I get on camera and I forget everything that I know.
I feel like they definitely dropped A Girl Worth Fighting For, some shit like, you know, some shit like that.
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna look up I'm very embarrassed at myself right now. I'll Make a Man Out of You. Yeah, they definitely like drop lines from that and like melodies and
no, the music, they integrated I mean, because it's not like they completely obviated the cartoon.
No.
There's so many allusions to the cartoon in the music and everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Like, there was no room for complaint there, honestly. I think it was beautifully executed.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I did, when I read some of the reviews, I was like, what did people, like, what are people's problems here?
Yeah.
Like, I thought the interpretation of it and like the addition of like Chinese culture was like really like complemented really well in there.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
And like Mulan is just a badass girl movie. Like, and I was like 8 when that movie came out, and I just think like I talk about this all the time because I love Mulan so much, but just like the gender roles in it also, like how is that in 1998 and like now all of us obviously like our age is like very much into like, yeah, everything is like, with this whole gender, what is going on in the world right now. And I'm in quarantine, so words are really hard for me to like use, but that movie was just way beyond it, way ahead of its time.
No, dude, Mulan, and I think a good precursor, it's funny, and I don't think I've ever said this out loud or like really discussed it, but in my head, when I think about Disney movies, I feel like Pocahontas is a big precursor to Mulan. Like I don't know why, like I always kind of have them in succession, like Belle, Pocahontas, Mulan, and I mean, and this is the chronology of how they came out, but it's like badass bitch, but kind of not as much as she could be, and then it keeps escalating, and you get to Mulan, and when Mulan came out, dude, Mulan was fucking everything, yo. I remember when that shit, and I also remember watching Pocahontas in theaters, yo.
Yeah.
I like hardcore, dude. And the way that they did this live action, I love that, like, they made her even more badass.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
even more badass.
What I thought was great when I was reading up on it was that there, first of all, is a female director.
Yeah.
It was like a mostly Australian production company, I believe. Mostly Australian? I don't know. I know she's from Australia, but they took like a year to find the person to play Mulan because they just kept they kept having these auditions, and they were just like,
no.
Yeah, no. And they like this, and this is the same, and I think that this works so perfectly because something similar happened for like Captain America and like Chris Evans to get his role. They're like, I don't want, like, they're like, no, this is like, I'm not your person. I'm not your person for this. Like, you can do better than me. And then they're like, nope, that's exactly why you're right for it.
It's you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Cool.
Yeah.
So I want you to give us a closing whatever, closing thought, closing story, closing whatever you want.
I mean, I can talk about what I'm excited to watch that's coming up soon.
Let's do that.
Really pumped for Pixar's new movie Soul. Looks dope.
Tell us a little bitty bit.
It's a mostly Black voiced cast. It's about like the man, I've only read like a short blurb on it, but it's Pixar, so it's gonna be good. I think Jamie Foxx is in it. I want to give it the justice that it deserves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soul.
Yeah. So it says here, Joe's a middle school band teacher whose life hasn't quite gone the way he expected. His true passion is jazz, and he's good. But when he travels to another realm to help someone find their passion, he soon discovers what it means to have soul.
Oh.
So I'm definitely going to cry.
It sounds like almost like a Coco,
Yeah, that Coco was dope. I'm also pumped for there's a movie coming out, I think it's around Christmas, called The Happiest Season.
I've heard of this one.
So it's your classic Christmas rom-com.
Sure.
But it's about a lesbian couple that they she brings the girlfriend to the parents' house, but then she slowly realizes that she's not out to her family.
Oh.
So it's one of those, but I also think that I'm just yes, queer movies coming out on the mainstream. That's really I think it's more so special for lesbian movies because gay men stories kind of have they've had a little bit of a backbone.
Not a little bit. No, the gay male story has been the predominant queer story that we've seen.
Yeah. So I'm really excited.
That's factual. That's
yeah. I don't want to discredit them though, because it's also important.
No. This isn't about discrediting. It's not about discrediting. I'm just saying that you're not wrong. The male gay story has been the predominant one. Not to discredit. Thanks to that, we are seeing everything that we are now.
Yeah, and I think it's cool. Oh yes, Amy's going to make me step that.
No, not to discredit, but what you're saying is true. We need to be excited about queer stories that aren't just what we've seen before, which is the gay story.
And then Prom is also right. Prom is queer. Yeah. Ryan Murphy's producing that movie Prom. It's very Ryan Murphy.
Then it means I'm gonna love it.
The cast is pretty crazy, and it's about high school. Is it lesbians also? Lesbians also.
Does it have any of his go-to people, Sarah Paulson or?
I think it's James Corden is fucking.
James Corden, okay, hey.
I know he's coming up in a lot of stuff. He's also in that movie Super Intelligence that's literally coming out on Thanksgiving this week.
Oh fuck yeah!
It's Melissa McCarthy and Ben Falcone is directing it, so obviously it's gonna be a killer. So Also love to plug that Dan Levy is in the Happiest Season, so it's just going to be a fucking great movie. That was the one I was talking about before.
The Happiest Season. I definitely want to watch it.
Let's see here. Yep, Nicole Kidman, Meryl Streep, Keegan-Michael Key, Kerry Washington, James Corden. I guess Andrew Rannells is kind of one of his guys. He was in, I haven't watched it yet, but Boys in the Band.
Ryan Murphy prom movie that you're talking about right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not really actually using any of his
go-to. Okay, so that's kind of great though, because that means a little bit of variety, even if it's the same, like Ryan Murphy aesthetic, but with a little bit of a different cast. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's definitely got like, I see lots of Pose vibes because it has that same like coloration of like the ballroom scenes that we see all the time, and it's just that like dark but kind of like there's just this bright, like, I don't know. So it comes from a musical that was on Broadway or something at that point, so it's nice to see. And also that's like a young lesbian story because they are in high school, so it's very nice.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, good plugs. I also, like there's a couple great queer, like even like non-binary starting to get represented a lot. Yeah. And we watched these shows, Feel Good, which was on Netflix, I think. Feel Good is another good, and Work in Progress, which I think was on like
that one I've heard of.
Something smaller. But Theo Germain I could talk about all day. Just a true icon of like non-binary coming out in TV. It's like trans man, and in like he was in Politician, and like I love when like a trans person can be just their gender, like without some big explanation of them like being a trans person. Like that's the goal we're working towards.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the whole fucking point, I think, right now. And
yes.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm working on my dissertation, and my dissertation has to do it is about the queer community back home, but mostly what we call the alternative queer community. And everyone that I'm kind of writing about in my dissertation are trans. I think they're all trans women. I think there's a lesbian, but I think it's mostly trans women that I'm trans women of color that I'm writing about.
Amazing. I mean, that's like, then Pose is right up your alley because it's all
exactly
women of color, which they're all like amazing people and super talented, and like, like I know that Pose was like a jumping point for a lot of their careers to start, and because the story is about this in the 90s, like they're trans, but like in their trans world, like they're, it's okay that like that's the story and that's how we like base it. But now like seeing some of them branch off and do some of their own work where it's not just like the highlight of their character is that they're trans, like they're just allowed to play like the character that they want to play. I watched Queen and Slim for the first time last night, and I recognize India Moore was in it, which was, an actor that I worked with on Pose, and just no mention of any of that. And I was like, we need more of that. We need more of that.
I have a colleague that once mentioned in class, they said, because what we're working toward is, because someone made a comment along the lines of, but there's so much queer representation, and they're like, the whole point is that I want to see queer actors just being actors, and that their characters aren't defined by whatever their sexual preferences or whatever their identity is. Like they're just, it's Fred, and Fred just so happens to be a trans man, but it's not really, do you know what I'm saying? It's not.
Yeah, totally.
This has been brought up, dude, in the academic setting. This has been
I mean, and that's also being brought up in the actor world too. Like, just to plug that also.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes sense.
I know from this one.
Wait, no, can we come in this one?
Come in this one.
Come in this one. Join
us. Real quarantine clothes. I did not dress up.
Real PJs.
No, but like, look at sweater action. It's fine.
Yes,
What's up?
I'm with you.
Hi.
Liz, Amy, Liz.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to
Thank you.
Presents.
I love this room that you're in.
Yeah.
It's
Thanks.
dope.
Yeah, thanks, man. Lots of.
But yeah, talk about well, this will just be real quick. We'll just plug this in at the end.
No, go for it.
About like the queer, I don't know what's being talked about in like the actor community about queer representation and or even what your thoughts on it, because like I know you have a lot of thoughts on it also.
Yeah, I mean, I have so many thoughts.
We're also quarantine brain of like not saying much, but like the weird language that we talk to each other.
No, I feel
it is real.
Flow. Just flow.
Yeah. But like with queer representation, because I'm an actor, so that's like a big part of what I deal with all kinds of casting things, is like there's so much, finally there's starting to be more of a conversation about like, hey, maybe this straight person shouldn't be playing this queer character all the time. And that's happening a lot with like in theater, it's like a little better, like in the off-Broadway, starting into Broadway world, but and like in certain roles in TV where it's like with Batwoman, for example, like that was like in the breakdown, like we need this to be an LGBTQ person, obviously, but like still, if it's something that's like supposed to be some like big artistic film or whatever, like what's that movie you showed me the trailer of, and I don't even remember.
That movie I showed a trailer of with like, the person in it,
with the people.
They have the eyes,
but it's with these lesbians, and neither of these actors are like at least like.
I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it lesbians.
Though. It's like these, it's like
it was that
period piece with these white ladies who like find each other and fall in love, something like that.
Carol.
No, but that's another example of that.
Yeah,
but, like,
I think Kate Winslet is in it.
Yeah, in this one.
I'll find the name.
It hasn't been released yet. I think just the trailer came out. But like, I feel like anytime they're trying to make some money, or like they need to make some money because they put a lot into it, then they're like, we can't have some actual gays.
Ammonite.
Oh yeah.
What's it called?
Ammonite. 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 Okay. It looks really cool. It's like a period piece, and it's like they're like excavators. They like find fossils and shit. That's me.
Archaeologists? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the younger one is the apprentice of Kate Winslet, and then they just have this like summer romance by like the London Sea, but they're like in all full like I don't even know what era it was, like 1800s, late 1800s garb.
Okay, interesting.
But it's like pick queer people to do that. Like I get it that it's a bigger title, and they're like Kate Winslet, like well-known actor.
Whatever. Well, but they did Ratchet, and they had Sarah Paulson, and I'm blanking on her name. Miranda from Sex and the City. The actress's name. Cynthia Nixon.
Yes.
Cynthia Nixon and Sarah Paulson, they had playing in Ratchet, and both of their characters in Ratchet are queer, and they are actually queer in real life. And I was super happy when I was like, oh my God, look at them choosing queer actors.
Funny, okay. So going off Sarah Paulson, what I love is the then reverse of that, because I just watched Hollywood recently, which is another Ryan Murphy show, just titled-ish, #ClamZaddy. But Holland Taylor, who is Sarah Paulson's wife, plays a straight person.
Oh man.
Which is
also like the reverse of it is also so good, because it's then like, don't niche these people to only play gay people, like let them act as well. Like
yeah.
Which is also something that like I have literally had conversations with casting directors about this, where they've said like the question has been thrown at them like, okay, like what are your thoughts on how this is changing? And they're like, but the thing is like well, do you only want to play queer roles then? Because like, if you want queer people to play queer people, then can you not play straight people? Like, do you really want that limit? And I'm like, can you just get like, can you like?
You're like,
that's not the
bitch,
point.
it's not either or. Can you not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
fucking right.
Casting is like a whole different
Well,
yikes.
but the good news, I feel like, and this is my hope, that, you know, at some point within the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be kind of a changing of the guard. There already is kind of a changing of the guard. Like, I think we're kind of starting to see it even with y'all, right? But like, even with people like the Duffer Brothers, people that are starting to come up and do their own kind of shit, there's this changing of the guard to where slowly but surely, hopefully, you're not going to be running into those comments as much. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Hopefully, because the people that are coming in, and because
we're kind of like fizzling out like the old way of thinking, and like a lot of like new professionals are like, you know, brought up in this world where everything can be everything, and like, you know, it's also to like plug.
It's just equality. It's just common sense.
Yeah. Which is why it's important for like people to write their stories too, because there's a lot of like, you know, and that will be the future of like everything. So it's like always like tell your story, and like
everyone else is
if people don't like it, but like do your thing. Like fuck him. Be Lady Gaga.
Exactly. And I feel like that's the perfect ending. Do your fucking thing. Be like Lady Gaga, and join us in the changing of the fucking guard.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we can do away with the bullshits and bring up the authentic.
Preach.
And with that, thank you, Rooni and Amy.
Thank you.
What's up? Until next time, PPC presents. Peace out.